Every good vinyasa yoga class starts with an opening. This is your introduction, and it's probably going to be somewhere between 1 to 5 minutes. Maybe you'll encounter a class that takes a much longer time to go through an opening. Again, I'm really only talking from my perspective here. I usually like to keep those introductions no more than 5 minutes in length. This is an opportunity for you to introduce yourself and to introduce the class you're about to teach. This is where you get to share what your theme is going to be about. For example, as you probably know, I am primarily an online yoga teacher. So when I'm starting my videos, if you've ever practiced with me, you've probably heard me say something like this a million times. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kassandra, and today I'm going to take you through a 20-minute morning yoga practice suitable for all experience levels. You'll want to have 2 blocks close by, and this class is really going to focus on flexibility through your hips and hamstrings. Something like that. That would be my opening. I'm communicating all the important things I want my students to know before we actually start to flow and get moving. So I'm letting them know who I am, what style of classes it's going to be, what theme or kind of sequence we're going to do, like a morning yoga class in this case, and I specify that it's going to be flexibility based for hips and hamstrings. I'm saying what level this is for, very important, especially if you are teaching online. So I'm saying this is great for all experience levels, and I'm telling people if they need props. So in this case, they need 2 blocks. I'm going to talk a lot about in-person versus online, obviously because I do both. And the structure is the same for both, but there are some considerations that you have to keep in mind. So obviously, if you're in person, when it comes to the level, that's probably already going to be dictated to you by the studio. Same thing with the length of class. Obviously, they know they're signing up for an hour-long intermediate core flow, for example, right? Because they signed up for that class, and this is what you have to teach. You still want to take the time to introduce yourself and to talk a little bit more about the theming and what it is that you're going to be tackling in this class. So theming, again, we're going to really dive deep into that, but it doesn't have to be something as simple as what I mentioned, like a morning class for hip and hamstring flexibility. You might be working with the yama and niyamas. You might be working on deeper topics of yogic philosophy, whichever it may be. You might be doing a seasonal flow, a lunar flow, whichever it is. Just give a small introduction, let people know what they can expect, and more importantly, let them know what they're going to need to have close by on their mats so that they don't have to get up and move and get a block and get a prop and all that kind of stuff. But really, the opening is super simple. It's your introduction. Make sure to keep it short, sweet, concise, go straight to the point, and give all of the information that your students are going to need. It's a little different when you're doing things online. So obviously, in person, when you're teaching at a studio, a lot of it maybe will be taken out of your hands because you don't have a say over how long the yoga class will be or what the level or the style of yoga will be. However, you do have the flexibility of designing your theme. You do have to figure out what kind of props you're going to need.